saying, Mike Raglan. Are you shorting it up, Raz? Maybe because you dress, you know what I'm saying? You dress cool or whatever. I was like, hell no. And even when I rant, like, I've heard people like jokingly say, no, you a know-it-all. Like, I don't know a lot of shit. The more that I go and seek knowledge, the more I realize it's a lot of shit I don't know. There's always 1,000 Michaels everywhere, so just always be able to go Mike Rags, you know, just stuck. That's how I came up with the Rags. Now, you know, usually I dive right into it. But first, I'm going to go ahead and do some pleasantries. How you doing right now?
All right, man. I appreciate you asking.
Oh, and while I had this time, I know my brother Dolo could not be here, but my brother has just dropped some fire. And I'm not just saying that because he's my boy, because I tell him when his shit don't hit to me. But I'm telling you, he just dropped some fire. He just dropped some cold, however you like it. He just dropped some on all platforms. It's called Rillos and Creamers. Go check that. Dolo Fibonacci, Fibonacci. Dolo Fibonacci. Go check that out. My brother a plug in.
About an hour after you sent me the link, I started listening. Yeah. And I listened to anything since.
Yeah,
music. I got a couple podcasts to listen to, but music wise.
Bro, I'm telling him and the guy named Respliff, they just dropped, they're both from Birmingham. They just dropped past 2 weeks, and I swear, like, that's all I've been listening to.
Man,
I swear, like, for real, it's on in the shop. They coming in the shop. They hearing some Respliff or some Dolo.
Okay,
straight up.
That's what's up.
That's how I feel about it. Real talk. So shout out to y'all, man. Y'all made some good music. But you know what time it is, and it's time to get into it now. I'm sure you've seen some of the Kevin Samuels interviews, or I would call them sessions, because guys, he's a professional and he's doing his job while he's speaking to these women. It's not as if he's asking these women to come talk to him. They're asking for his advice. And he's been getting a lot of pushback from the way that he talks to women. But one thing that I wanted to point out first before I go any further was, I think it was on his Clubhouse, and it was a recording of him getting into it with the TV reporter, and she was just not really dealing with him not apologizing to the first young lady that in the video that went viral about the young lady who was a business owner, and how he was, you know, basically told her she's average at best, but he really didn't tell any lies, you know, by based off of his job and his profession, the questions that he asked, you know, he deemed that she was average at best, right? He didn't call her and tell her that information just to belittle her. She called him asking for information, first off. Secondly, she called him on the wrong day, knowing it was the wrong day. And he then brought up how, in that part and on the Clubhouse interview, he then brought up how women have a one-way aggression. And a lot of women just were like, nah, hell nah. You just got to learn how to talk to people. And I get that too. It's a line. It's a fine line, but you do have to balance it. But for the sake of argument, if I'm cutting hair every day, but on a certain day I have just edge up day, you only coming to get edge ups on this day, and I have somebody who pulls up for a full cut with the works, with the beard, they can't get mad at how I respond to them, because you knew what day it was. You knew what I had planned for this day. So I'm already in that mode. That's one thing. I'm already in that mode. Then you take me out my mode for some bullshit. Listening to the interview with the young lady from North Carolina, she called in with a bunch of bullshit, basically. You know, just like if she would have just had a conversation with one of her friends before she made that call, they probably would have told her, like, don't make that call because you're going to embarrass yourself.
Right.
And a lot of women felt like she wasn't. How is that one way aggression? Her calling her, because what she did in factly was, or matter of fact, was say, okay, regardless of what you have going on, I need my thing, or I need the advice that I called you for. So you gonna have to do what I want you to do, regardless of what it is that you are already supposed to be doing. And when women hear one-way aggression, they probably always think of violence and rage, but that's not what aggression is necessarily about. It's not always about violence and rage. Sometimes it's just a mindset that I can do what I want when I want to, regardless of what you have going on. And you can't do anything back to me but be polite, because I might be polite while I'm doing it. No, that's not how it works. Being polite and being nice is not always about respect. I've gone to Bama. I've been around white people, and I know that they are, I mean, no offense, but I know that they are brilliant at being able to smile in your face and still be disrespectful as hell to your face at the same time. It's something that they've practiced, and they will make it feel as if they want you around, but then you still get that vibe that they don't want you there. And so and that's disrespectful, but they're nice about it. They're polite about it, but they're still disrespectful. So niceness and respect do not always necessarily correlate. She was being disrespectful first. And that's what a lot of women have yet to realize, is she started off being disrespectful by knowing what he asked her, you know, yes, but I still, okay, bet. This is a teaching. He even said, this is a teaching moment. Let's go. Tried to give her a chance to give her advice anyway. And when she was asking some of the questions, before he even could say or make a face, like, I was in there like, what is she talking about? One time he asked, what value do you bring to a man in a relationship? Running, I kid you not, I bust out laughing when she said, I can help him with his business, and I know how to plant. Like, as in gardening. I can help him plant. I'm thinking to myself, I'm not gonna cuss. I'm thinking to myself, but like, are you serious right now? Like, this is what you're telling me you have to offer the man. He started bringing up numbers. 20% of men, or 20% of people, own a business. So we ain't even gotten the men. So what about the men who don't own a business? Like, what can you bring for them? Your garden? You know, most people don't garden. Most people eat out or grocery shop. Like, we buy our food. So what are you bringing? What value are you bringing to a man? Like, just ask yourself some of these questions before you come and ask me this. Like, I think that is an easy out. So a lot of women aren't able to see that, or what she did as a one-way aggression. So I got a few more examples of things that have just happened this weekend to either me or friends, or things that I've seen on Instagram. So the first thing that I saw was young artist Chloe Bailey. You know, her and Haley have been a group since they were young, founded by Beyonce they were found by Beyonce at a young age. And they finally been able to get their own, I think, separate IG account, or not been able to, but they finally gotten their own IG accounts. And so Chloe is, from what I can tell, a free spirit. Haley seems to be more of the conservative one. But I never looked at anything that Chloe posts as like she out here being a slut or a hoe, or like she doing too much. She showing. So first off, let me understand this, because this is black women talking about her. Mm-hmm. So let me explain it. So now women are policing other women's bodies now. When we do it, we're called narcissists. Mm-hmm. When we do anything to push back against what a woman says, we are a narcissist or a misogynist. But when a black woman tries to tell another black woman what to do with her body, that's okay. That's how women think, though. They think, oh, well, we can tell another woman what to do with her body. You just can't tell us what to do. Okay. That's fair enough. If you don't see that as a one-way aggression, that's fair, because I guess she's not supposed to say anything back. She's just supposed to say, okay, well, I'll conform. I'll abide by your rules or your standards and won't be a free spirit just doing what I want to on my Instagram. It's her Instagram. Like, so yeah, that's one way. Another example on a more serious note is that I've seen this happen a few times with friends, but I had a friend this weekend to have the police called on him while he was with his now ex, and I'm not just saying this because I think no men really beat on their women. I know there are men out there that really do that. I know there are men that are really violent towards women out here, but it kind of saturates that when, or it saturates my sense of like urgency or alertness to what your situation is, because I've seen so many women falsely call the police on men just because they won't give you what you want. Not even that they put their hands on you, just because simply they didn't give you the reaction you wanted, or you might have caught him cheating and lying to you. So you start doing things, and she really called the police on him. Lucky for him, he didn't do anything to her. There were no marks on her or any scratches. If she was smart, she would have just inflicted the stuff to herself if she really wanted to. But that's something for another day. But her reasoning for calling the police was because she came at him with an aggression, and his response to her aggression was so nonchalant that it threw her. So it wasn't even the fact that he was aggressive back, but the fact that he just disregarded her aggression as, I don't give a fuck what you talking about. I'm finna go on by my day. That pissed her off, because she wanted him to come back at her so that then they can. I don't know if some people feel the need to have drama in a relationship so that it can bring out some sort of passion that they don't always get to draw up on their own. Like they have to draw that from drama. Or I didn't get it at all. When he was telling me the story, I was just like, bruh, and this isn't the first time she's done something like this. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and to be honest, I've witnessed this same young lady, and I don't want to say too much because some people, I've witnessed this same young lady pull up to my crib trying to really shank my homeboy. Like, really, because he lied to her about where he was. And he was at my crib. Like, what we doing over there at the crib? But playing the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just talking sports and music. Like, we ain't got no hoes over here. He ain't over here doing nothing crazy. It's the middle of the day.
All right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, he lied to you because you crazy. That's why he lied to you, because you so crazy. But it just, and I've seen that with my own. I've seen how he reacted to that. Like, how he's just trying to get away. You know, and but that's another one-way aggression that women have. They feel as though, or not all, none of this is all women, but they feel as though, or some women feel as though, they should be able to come at you because they know that we're taught or we're told that you're not supposed to hit a woman. I was never taught that. I was always taught you're not supposed to hit anybody.
Oh, okay.
I was always taught that if you can, you always move away or go away from the situation. Remove yourself from the situation. I was never taught to hit anyone unless I have no other option and I have to defend myself. They didn't specify if that was a man or a woman. So if I'm in a situation and I feel as though a woman is threatening me to the point where I can't get away, she's physically trying to keep me from getting away, or she's threatening me with weapons, like, what else am I supposed to do? Call 911 so they can sit there so the dispatcher can sit there and half-heartedly listen because they think I'm on some bullshit. Because I'm telling them my woman trying to abuse me. Like, it's just so many different examples that I've seen of what Kevin Samuels was talking about, wrapping it right back around to him, because I want to get back to him and some of the things that he goes in, that you've seen some of his podcasts, his interviews as well. So I want your opinion on how you feel about it. But I just feel like when he said that about one-way aggression, a lot of women just like, hell no. But that's what it is. The narrative is always the one black woman is mother queen and niggas ain't shit. For real. And that's the narrative that's been pushed on society now for years, right? all niggas either in the streets, dead, locked up. You know what I'm saying? Or they no good when they in relationships because they all cheating. They can't. No black man can be faithful. Da 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 this, da 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 that. And then it's just like black man, bad, bad, bad. Black woman, queen. And don't get me wrong, I love my sisters. I do feel like y'all are queens, but we are kings as well. That means we sit here together. So just like there are some no good men, some no good women, and you have to come to real grips and understand that, and don't make it a thing where like you will never hear a man saying all women ain't shit. All women just niggas don't be saying that. We don't think that way because we know some of y'all ain't shit, and we know some of y'all are the best things that ever happened to us. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I just want women to understand that sometimes when it comes to the narrative or how they interact with men aren't always the problem. A lot of the times, and Kevin brought this up too, a lot of the time women want what they want without even considering what the person that they're dealing with wants. And if they do consider what he want, it's still, well, nah, we're not going to do it that way. It's going to have to be done this way. Nothing will ever get done like that. My mama is one of the strongest women I've ever known. She's also one of the most submissive women I've ever known. And it's crazy that she can be both at the same time, but somehow she has balanced that beautifully for my parents got married in 80, 41 years. You see what I'm saying? So they've been married for 41 years, and she's been able to somehow beautifully master how to be strong and not know when not to take no shit, and know when to, I ain't gonna say when to shut up, but knowing when to shut up. No, you don't just know when to be quiet, like when to just, that's not even worth fighting. Let them have it. Oh, okay, nah, you ain't finna do that. You know what I'm saying? And just and to be able to balance that. And I think that takes a stronger woman than one that's always, well, I'm always do it my way. I'm always do it. It has to be my way. It has to be my way. So I want women. If you've ever watched the Kevin Samuel interview, go back and look at it again. Look at it with an unbiased mindset. Don't even think. Stop listening to the tone of whatever y'all talking about when y'all say his tone wasn't right. And look at the tone of the whole situation. Not what he was saying, but how the situation came about. Like I said, a lot of them probably didn't even think, man, if I'm on, and he even asked us, you're a business owner, right? Like he asked all these questions to set it up to where she was vehemently she was making sure she was deliberately in the wrong place at the wrong time without caring about it, what he had to say or what he had going on. And that's this man's place of business. That's what he does for a living. He does this professionally. He's a life coach, an image consultant. He does these things not for fun, not for hobby, but for a living, a profession. He's a professional. So there are certain things, certain questions that he has to ask. There are certain things that he needs to get to so that you can understand and that he can do his job correctly. And if the entire time you're asking for advice, you're telling him, well, no, it should be, why are you calling him for advice then? Why call me for advice if you're just going to sit on the phone the entire time and tell me, well, no, it should be able to, okay, then don't call me and ask me for advice then. Like, why are we here? So it's just, I just believe that the narrative and mindset that surrounds black men and women needs to be talked about more, and we need to come to a head and be able to realize, okay, we both have things that are good about us, or great about us. We both have things that are bad about us, but we're not gonna say all black men and think, oh, thugs or something negative, and we're not gonna just see women and just all think queens, because it's not the reality of it. There are a big variety of people in both categories, men and women. So it's just like that's my piece about it right now. I just had to get that off my chest. I had that on my chest since this weekend. Like I said, and I've been going crazy on my Instagram, but I haven't really delved too deep into it because I wanted to save it for this. But you've seen Mr. Samuels for yourself. So what did you get from it?
I saw the same one you saw.
Okay.
And I'll be honest, my initial reactions were pretty intense because, and I'll admit, I didn't go and watch the whole thing. Mm-hmm. I watched what was seeping out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know, so they're going to show you the intense parts, but not give you the whole story.
Right.
So I too was guilty. Like, man, how could this man do this woman like this? This poor woman, you know?
Like she's the victim.
But even as I expressed my thoughts about it initially, the one thing I couldn't quite get over was that, at least from what I consumed, the pinnacle of what she was looking for in a man all dealt with his income. So here's my thing. Okay. Here's my thing, Rags. Okay. If you come in and you're coming to Kevin Samuels and your main identifier is I want a dude making six figures, you got to take everything that comes with that.
Right.
So considering that, I can see where Kevin Samuels was coming from. Mm-hmm. Now I'm a guy, I've been married, 11, 12 years. I should know this. Not long enough is what you're supposed to say. But but I know, and my wife is a high earning individual. Mm-hmm. My wife makes a lot of money. Mm-hmm. And I know that it takes more than money for a true relationship to function. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you talked about it a little bit, but you think about sacrifices. What value are you gonna bring? You know, because I guess the reality I come at it with is the money can come and go.
For sure.
Anything can happen and you can lose access to that income. Sure. Like I realize that. Yeah. No matter how many safeguards you got.
For sure. Yeah.
You could still be broke out here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I hold that close to my heart. And so my thing is, even when, or not when, but if the money were to run out, what are we going to have left? You know? So I take all that into account when I first heard it. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, it was weird to me because socially and conceptually, women are the ones looking for the endearing qualities. They want a man with a heart, a man that cares. And you've heard it. Most women say, I don't even care how much money he makes.
Right.
Is he going to love me for who I am?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now you've got a total shift on this. Mm-hmm. And she's like, nah, give me the six figures.
And I think, and the thing that kind of even that gave me pause about it when I first saw it, Big Gat, was she kept like, her thing, it came across to me as if she was just on there to let other folks know she has her own business and she makes six figures and she wants to date niggas that make six figures too. And it's like, so why are you calling him for this? Like, what do you need advice about?
Right.
You've clearly stated you make six figures. You want a man with six figures. Like, and then when he tries to tell you why you're not qualified for that man, but he even, and then a lot of women was like, he has no facts. Yes, he does. The facts are 8% of men. He didn't even say black men. He said men make six figures or more. 8%. That's 8 out of every 100. 80 out of every 1,000. Like, you know how few that is? So it's just like. So
what? You think we about 1%? I mean, come on. Maybe real. Less than that.
Yeah. So it's, if I'm that much of a commodity out here, if I'm that rare, I only want the best. That means not to, and I know a lot of women were like, he's just worrying about physical. Like, well, I mean, he was just trying to get them to be realistic. Like a man that's in that top tier, he's not gonna want basic.
Can I hold you right there?
No, go ahead.
As men, we prioritize the physical.
We do.
That's just a factor. I mean, we want a woman that to us looks good. That's going to be a major factor. So I'm not against that.
Right, for sure.
Go ahead. Yeah. I just had to say that.
No, because I'm the same way though. Like I do like I don't have to have no bad bitch, but it's like she got to be very attractive. I have to find her attractive.
I'm glad you said that part. I'm glad you said that part.
I don't have no bad bitch.
Right.
I don't. They come with too much headache anyway. I done tried my hand before. I ain't want that no more.
Yeah.
So it's just like, They come with too much.
Well,
so
here's my thing.
okay.
And here's why. And I've learned a lot from you too, because you've seen the whole thing. Here's why I'm not that critical about what Kevin Samuels did to her.
Okay. Because I've seen plenty of his interviews, and he's the same all the time. So
Right.
it's not just her, but yeah.
But if you're gonna come in with a shallow expectation such as that, you're only gonna get you got to be ready for shallow results, right?
Yes. For every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction.
Man, one of my homeboys told me, we were talking about it, and he was like, "Think about it. We'll take the NBA. We're in basketball season right now. Well, the Super Bowl's coming up, but professional sports, right?
Right.
Mostly everybody who's employed by a professional team, mostly six figures. Even, I mean, the minimum salary in the NFL is six figures.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Even practice squad players get more than, I think, six figures. Maybe if it's not six, it's right at six.
Right.
I think it is six though, but.
So he was telling me, he said, "God, think about it. She wants a guy in six figure range, right? So take that into the environment of a professional athlete. You sign a contract. There's a lot of status that comes with that. So here I am, busting my tail, trying to keep my body in shape, trying to stay, really, if I'm taking it from a minimum salary perspective, trying to work my way up to that next contract.
Right.
All right. So you have all that, but then all the, there's all the glamour that comes with being a professional athlete.
Right.
You're going to be out in the public when, it's not COVID, but you are going to want something that no one else has
Right.
in terms of a woman on your arm.
Right.
That seems shallow.
It does.
But think about it, man. I mean, it's a reality.
No, it is.
I'm not saying that I agree with that,
Right.
but that's the way it is.
It definitely is a reality. And not every man that makes money is like that.
Right.
But we're talking numbers, majority are. So it's just like you're playing against, and that's really all he does is to try to, like I said, I saw a few of them. He asks a baseline set of questions. He asks your age. He asks if you have
kids.
If you have children, how many?
She has a child, teenage child.
She had a 13-year-old. He asks dress size. He asks income or what do you do, and then he asks like what do you rate yourself? Just strictly, purely physical. And that might be superficial, but that's a real thing because a lot of what all these women had these ideas of what they wanted, and he'll break it down for them. Okay, bet. He already told you the 8%. So already you're fighting against, you know what I'm saying, the numbers. There was one woman on there that called in easily 8 or better. Had a great job, but she's always on the scene, always in and out doing things. And she was just saying how she could never find a man that seems to be ready to really settle down with her. And she thought it was just maybe because men aren't confident enough to be able to deal with her always being around somebody. And he tried to tell her, men do want a woman if they're at that level that you want, 6-figure, nigga that's in that same atmosphere. Yeah, he does want his woman to sit down. Like, he does want her to be at home, especially, do you want kids? And she was like, well, I don't know if I want kids right now because it'll stop what I have going. There's one thing right now. A lot of dudes your age, you're 30 plus. A lot of dudes your age want kids.
Absolutely.
He said if you're looking for somebody who doesn't want kids and wants to just be just have a friend that they can go and do things with, and a lover that they can go and do things with, and not worried about kids and family right now. He said they're gonna be two things. He said they're either gonna be older men, or they're gonna be men with families already and been divorced, or like widowed. Or widower. So it's just like those are your options.
Right.
You get you an older man, want to have a kid, or be willing to have a child now because you're being selfish by saying you don't want a kid. Because that's not just a you decision.
Exactly.
It takes two people to have a
You want to bring in this other male. You gotta,
Yeah, you have to be
accommodating.
You can't go in a relationship so headstrong about what you want and will not do when it comes to the details.
Right.
You can have a standard, right? But everybody's connection is going to be different. Even if you have a certain standard, when you date different people, they are still different. Even if they met your standard, the things that they did, the minute things that they did were different. So then in that situation, you have to be willing to sway, bend, and maybe even, I ain't gonna say, nah, you're never supposed to break, but you should be able to bend.
Give a little bit.
Reach,
Right.
give.
For the sake of compromise.
Right, for the sake of peace.
Yeah,
it shouldn't always be up to men. I know so many older men that they'll always say things, and it's jokingly, but it has a hint of seriousness, or it's a serious undertone to it. But they'll say things like, "Well, yeah, I just be quiet so I can keep the peace." No, any woman that's with me that's not gonna be the case. I'm not gonna shut up just to make you happy. If we are having a discussion about something, and I feel strongly about it, and you feel strongly about it, then at some point we're just gonna have to agree to disagree. I'm not just going to shut up and make you feel like, well, we can just do it your way because you said so, and I want to keep the peace. Hell no, it ain't got. It's not. And a lot of people say, but Mike, you can't say that. You ain't in a relationship. I've been in relationships. That's why I've been single for 4 or 5 years now, because I'm not ready to do some of the things, these things that have to bend and reach, and I'm not ready to do that yet. And
you're not ready to do that in terms of In terms of a monogamous dealing with one person. Okay. And we're veering a little bit, but does that change once rings are exchanged?
No, so my mindset will already be there. At the age that I'm at right now, if I'm dating a woman, I'm usually trying to date you intentionally. Like,
okay.
At this age. I don't date a lot. I mean, fuck it. A lot of the women that I deal with, I don't date. They're there for purposes.
Okay.
We are exchanging for purposes. It's not just me. I don't want folks, females to think, oh, well, see, he just a hoe. No, it's like it's a mutual understanding. Like it's something that we've come in to communication with before we started, whatever it is that we got started.
Right.
I don't seriously date a lot of people though. So if I am really rocking with you, or if I'm really liking you, when I'm dating you deliberately. An old head once told me, said it doesn't take you no longer than a year to 18 months to know if that's who you want.
That's a fact.
Not to say that you will be ready to necessarily get on your knee and
but you'll know.
You will know. Yeah, right. You will know. Okay, yeah, she probably the one. She's probably the one I want. So I figure if I don't. By the time I start really dating you, and I think this is kind of weird, but I've given my theory on how I will come into marriage. I don't know, because God has the cards. I'm just kind of telling them what kind of hand I want. My goal is I'm friends, group, start dating a few. Some just by life will fall off to the side. I won't have to do anything. They won't have to do anything. It's just life will separate us. As that happens, I'm continuing to date. Still friends, single. She's single, I'm single. She's single, I'm single. Like we're just dating, courting, trying to figure out what do we click, what do we like, what we don't like. Then I'm just gonna really have a real nigga conversation with one of the people that I'm dating at a certain point, and let them know like, hey, I think we maybe should try this on a more exclusive level. Like, let's give it a chance. Once we say that, from that point on, I'm already in mindset mode of like marriage.
Okay.
Even before I get married to her.
Gotcha.
Because once I tell you I'm ready to go, once I throw my hat out the ring, I'm really saying, shit, all I'm trying to do now is figure out how we gonna make this work. I figured that you somebody that I can work with. We can go into business together, sign this contract, and start a business. You know, Raglan are us. You know, we can start that business. Are you a good worker though? Are you somebody I'm willing to work at? Because I know some days I'm not gonna even want to work on this job. Now it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be hell. It's gonna be emotional. Some days I'm not gonna want to work, but I'm gonna still need to know that I gotta clock in, and that whoever I'm there working with still makes the job fun. That's how I look at marriage for it.
Okay.
Big contract I'm signing, going to business with somebody.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. So once I tell them I'm wanting to start a business with you, before we even start the business, like once I say, okay, yeah, let's try to figure this out, then I'm already in mode like, okay, bet I have to give up this, but that's why I haven't gotten there yet. Because me personally,
I respect that.
I'm not ready for that. And there's some women that just feel like, Mike, but you are, or something to tell me, I'll wait for you. Like, I be telling them, don't. not to saying I won't come back, but it's to say like, don't do that for me. Cause I want you to still be out here dating too. I want you to see, I don't have to be your only choice. I just want to be the one that you choose. Okay. I don't have to be the only thing there. And so you're like, oh, well, he's the only person I've been dealing with for so long. And it just feels normal and we gotten comfortable. A lot of people get caught in that, and that's what ruins, you know what I'm saying, marriages and friendships and relationships. Is because they were the one person they saw, the only person they saw. Nah, you can see all these folks. I just want you to, by the end of the day, whenever we go there, you were like, well, yeah, out of everybody that I've been fooling with or fucking around with, Mike, I want you. And that's just how it is. Like, I don't have to be, she don't have to be like, oh, you're the only person I see. I only want you. That's dangerous. That's a dangerous place to be in when you're really single. If you're really doing this dating thing right. And a lot of people think, well, what about sex? Like, so you saying you have sex with everybody today? No, I don't. You know, like I said, I have people for that. And then I have those that I really like. You know, so it's compartmentalized because I'm single, right? And I have to know that being single is not just a green card to go crazy. My first couple of years, it definitely was. But then I grew up and was like, you know what, Mike, this whole lifestyle ain't really the lifestyle. You know, it's not fun. Leave some people hurt no matter how direct you are with them, letting them know what time it is. Some people still end up hurt. So I just kind of just got fatigued with it. But I realized I still wasn't ready to be all in with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that I don't talk to women who aren't amazing, like date women now who are amazing. And I could possibly see myself. That's why I'm dating you though, because I can possibly see myself. I haven't gotten to the point where I'm like, yeah, we could try this. You see what I'm saying? Not because they aren't amazing, because I'm not there yet, and I don't want to. No woman will ever make me feel as if I will lose her if I don't make this decision now. Okay, bye. That's life separating us. Because if you're supposed to be there, you will be. Not saying I'm dragging my feet, because I'm not. I just have things that I know I have to work on myself. So in order for me to be the best that I can for you, shit, let me get this. Don't try to come and work with me. Let me just be me.
Right.
Be me. So
okay.
Yeah, man. That's my marriage theory. That's how I think it should work.
I respect it.
Dating and being single. So yeah, man. But I just feel like Kevin Samuels is he ain't wrong.
and it really, like you said, it's really summed up easily. Mm-hmm. You got to know what you're getting yourself into. You got to do your research.
Right.
I'm not gonna call in to a white supremacist show and then complain about getting dogged out.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like and then expect sympathy. Nah,
right.
I know what it is. Yeah. I'm not gonna go call it that show.
100%. I definitely, and that's my thing. These women are reaching out to him. They know who he is. They know what he is about. So, like, why am I feeling bad for you for getting yourself into something? Bro, don't change.
You're right.
Like, he's not gonna change. And I'm not. And bro could be totally different off camera.
He probably is.
When he's around his friends, I'm pretty sure he probably watches what he says to his friends to a certain. Like, I'm pretty sure he's not trying to come off disingenuous or wrong to his friends.
Right.
Y'all clients. This is what he does for a profession. He's supposed to be unbiased, unfiltered. Like, if you want to get results, and stop trying to argue with the man with the results he's trying to tell you. That, right. How you gonna call the doctor and ask them what's wrong and then tell them they wrong? Sometimes people do misdiagnose things, but for the most time, they're professionals for a reason.
Right.
Just kind of got to take their word on it sometimes. If you're seeking their help.
Right.
That's all I got. That's all I got to say, man.
Gotcha.
I got to say.
All right, you got to wrap it.
We keeping that too.
Okay.
Nonsense, baby.